Glenn McCrory Boxing Social with the new Featherweight, IBF Featherweight Champion of the World, Josh Warrington. What a performance you put on, Josh. Did you enjoy that?
Loved every second of it. A lot of pressure on my shoulders. I felt like I had all city, expecting me, even though I was a massive underdog. And probably the boxing circle didn't see me going past 5 or 6 rounds. The people that mattered most to me, people in the city, and yeah, they paid out their money expecting me, so I felt a lot of pressure. But when I got in there, I just had a massive belief that tonight was my night, and I've been saying for the last 18 weeks it's destined, and did the business.
We sat and talked about this a few months ago when we were in London at a boxing show, and I was telling you that what the crowd did for me, they lifted me to a win against a massive outsider. Do you think that had, in some respects, partly something to do with this win?
100%, mate. People speaking to people like yourself. I remember when Stewie Hall won his IBF. Seeing likes of Ricky Hatton and speaking to likes of Billy Graham, it all adds in, and you take it away and you get a massive belief when you see fighters who have been underdogs and just go against the grain and bring something out of them, and take that next step to world level. It all adds up, and obviously it proved tonight.
My thoughts on the fight when I was asked about it was the fact that, for me, Lee Selby, we'd seen the best of Lee Selby. Great fighter as he is, terrific performer. But the last few fights were he's been the same. You're an undefeated fighter with the Kaiser Chiefs bringing you into the ring, with a massive Leeds United fan base putting you up. They raised you above that level.
Most definitely, and people from the outside might say, "Oh, well, they can't get in the ring with him and fight for him." That's very well true, but and at the same time, he might not get intimidated by the crowd. I don't know if he wanted. He looked like he had a good time walking to the ring. But when I'm landing punches and there's a roar going up, that plays on his mind, and I feed off that energy. And I've always said, fighting in the arena in front of the big crowds, it just gives you something else. And listen, fighters might not be intimidated, but if I feed off that energy. When I was stood in that ring, and I was looking out at the stands, I could see people, they wanted it as much as I did, and we won that together. We won that as a city, and there's a lot of people who've been there since I was going to leisure centres and fighting in front of 20 people, and now we're 25,000 backing me, and I can't thank them enough.
The crowd helped, the crowd raised your spirits, but it was Josh Warrington that in that first 3 minutes outpunched, outfought and beat Lee Selby in the first 3 minutes, and you never let off.
I think in that first 3 minutes I had to really show him that he's in for an hard night, and he's a champion coming into my backyard, but I had to rip his heart away and show him that he's in for an hard grueling 12 rounds. And I think he was shocked. I landed a couple of clean punches ahead, and there was an instant show of uncertainty when he kept turning to the referee and saying, "I'm hitting him on back of head." Back of head is there for me, but I was landing punches there on side of his head, and when you're getting unrivaled and a bit unsettled with that, then let's get into you. And I think I'd have made it a couple of times. If I'd have been able to land 1 or 2 more, there'd been a chance it could have been on canvas.
How much were you prepared to give? How much did you want it tonight?
Oh man, I think when they said on the new, I think my emotion showed it. It's been a long 18-week camp, and in the middle of all that, my babies, my twin girls have been born, and I've sacrificed a lot of time with them. I've been in the gym working hard, and I was prepared to give everything tonight, absolutely everything. I had no to lose. Building up to this stage, it was always, if you get through this one, then you might have your world title shot. But this was the big one, and I'm prepared to give absolutely everything I had tonight.
Tonight was obviously hard, but let me just give you a little insight. As a world champion, winning it is the easier one. Defending it now gets harder, because you've already got it. You've been world champion. You've done that. You've ticked that off. Keeping on to that belt is tough. Who can we expect to see you face soon?
Well, obviously Frank Scott, Carl Frampton. Carl was there ringside tonight. Carl's a potential future opponent. Obviously, he'll be looking at Windsor Park in August. So I don't know, maybe defence, and then we'll go from there and see what's available.
Would you be prepared to go to Windsor Park in August in a massive fight?
Well, we'll have to see. Like I say, it's only in 12 weeks' time, so I want a week off. I need to have a week off. I need to get a few Guinnesses down. Yeah, exactly. I need to have a week off and obviously speak to my manager and Steve Wood and speak to my dad and speak to Frank. We'll see what happens. But when you talk about Windsor Park, 20,000 at Windsor Park. 25 here tonight at Elland Road, and with a fight like Carl Frampton, I think it'd be even bigger. Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens.
The one thing for me tonight, you proved right through the fight, from the very beginning, you proved that you deserve to be at this level, that you're a champion that can stand tall and stand in there with anybody. And, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, you and Carl Frampton, I'd said Carl Frampton. Now, honestly, I don't know.
Well, this is it. Like we're a massive underdog going into this one. You look at the boxing experts. No one giving me half a chance. And that were, a belief what I always had. And you've just got to keep focus, keep the horse blinkers on, and it's boxing at the end of the day. Anything can happen. And the way that we're writing me off, he stuck to the fire. It just made me want to train harder. And I've done it.
Pleasure to be here to watch you do it, champ.
Pleasure to have you here, mate. Thank you very much.
God bless.